Grand Rising, Grand Rising. Thank God for another day, no complaining, no crying. It's Dad Chat TV, your host from the East Coast, mostly on the West Side, South Side Jamaica, New York for president, hashtag New York for everything. It's another episode, Dad Chat TV, coming live from the South Side. How you guys doing out there, man? How y'all doing out there, man? Papa Stretch, man, been chilling, man. Since the 25th today, I think maybe the 27th, if I'm not mistaken. Just been a little down, you know what I mean? You know how it go, fellas. Drama with the mamas, baby mamas. Shout out to the mother of our children. Women out there, the good ones. Y'all ain't giving no trouble. But yeah, man, we come with another one, man. I'm gonna try to do my best to keep it consistent. I know I run my mouth a lot with it, but y'all gotta understand a little life, man. Life be hitting me in different ways nowadays, and a lot of things is different from my normal existence. So it's hard sticking with it, but I'm gonna try my best with you guys, man. Please, because I know y'all doing your best with me, and I appreciate y'all. Shout out to my babies. Hopefully one day, I know y'all see this. We all about to try to navigate through these waters in which we call fatherhood. You know? Mets always, yes, you understand, the Amazings. For all y'all don't know, y'all from the county of Queens, South Side always. Shout outs to Mr. Frosty. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, today, man, what we're gonna talk about is a few different things, man. I might just wing it. Honestly, I had a few things in my mind, but pardon me. You know how it goes, man. Y'all know how it goes, man. Got me a fresh little cut today. Hopefully I'm looking handsome. Ladies, if y'all watching out there, let me know, please. You know, I ain't the illest man in Nebraska, but I'm one of them. That's my thing. But yeah, we're gonna talk about consistency. Oh, that's what I want to talk about. I had a conversation the other day with my bro mom. Shout out to Jan Jan, love her to death. She's a great woman. And we was talking about just how women today, not all, but a lot of women that we're dealing with nowadays that are lazy, don't want to do anything, or want to complain about the little bit they actually do contribute. It's like, and I'm talking to her and bringing up my story also, which is similar to hers, minus the extra 3 kids. Well, it's the same thing. There's no passes for the fathers that left us, by no means. And us men that grow up, no matter what we say about the women we're dealing with, it's about the women that we're dealing with and the mentality of the women today. This is to give a pass for no man, including mine or the next man's father who walked away or didn't stick it out. Hell no. But the difference is, them women had all the energy to put in trying to figure out covering the part of the man, then fighting with him, then trying to chase him down in the streets, argue with him, complain about what he's doing and not doing. And I'm first to say, mine ain't doing one iota of a little bit. You know what I'm saying? And my mother probably felt some way. I'm pretty sure she did. She's a woman. She laid down with a man and had a child. And he didn't uphold his part of the bargain, whether he stayed with her or not. So I'm pretty sure she felt some way. However, she didn't have the time to chase him in these streets and drop the kids off at his people's house and do all this other weird stuff or curse him out and do all this because he wasn't doing absolutely nothing. As to where women today, they're getting 75, 80, 90, 65% out of men. And then still crying and saying how much this isn't enough and that isn't enough. Most people understand in life that just because somebody else's situation is a little worse than ours, it doesn't take away from what I'm going through, which is true. However, we also do understand, yes, I'm going through what I'm going through, but I understand somebody else is going through it worse or having a harder situation. So it doesn't take from mine what I'm going through, and I should not feel it to express it. However, I don't press the line so much because God teaches us to show gratefulness. Yes, I'm going through this, that, and third, but somebody's going through a little worse. And then somebody's going worse to them. So it might not be that bad. Philosophy in which I have to follow and choose to follow. And have to remind myself day to day when I slip millions of times and don't follow it. But when I'm talking to her and it's a legit older woman that dealt with the situation, she's explaining the same thing. Like, and she said something to me yesterday that a lot of people I know, my peers, friends, who feel the same way, but because we come from the men who didn't stick around and we grew up around hearing it because most of us just grew up around women, whether it's aunts and all that type of stuff. They don't get how that psychologically plays a part in us as men. I can personally speak for myself. Being from South Jamaica, it's like a lot of other neighborhoods in New York City and across this globe. But speaking from my specific region of the world, there's certain stereotypes that vague my community, that plague my community, I should say. Pardon my words. And one of them was a lot of black men, especially from this area, from the 70s and on up, chasing the dollar, which I participated in the world myself, so this isn't a criticism thing. It's a learning time. However, chasing the dollar, getting the big money in Southside Jamaica, Queens, as most people know the story, and due to the Bidens, the Clintons, and all the other big political presidential families that we didn't understand and know, signed off on all them 100-to-1 when it comes to cocaine and crack cocaine drugs, to where South Jamaica had an aura from the late 70s on up to where a lot of fathers took care of their kids, loved their kids, and made money, but hustled and got long sentences. Now, I don't think that was the case with my father because I don't know the true story. But that is with a lot of people from my era, my area of the world. And for somebody like myself who was very mental and very in tune with his brain, and I live more in my head than I probably ever lived in this real world, and I'm 37 years old, no matter what steps I took, even when it came to criminality, whether it was hustling, whether it's a robbing, whether it's a this or that, I've never done no pimping. Wasn't my thing. But I'm man enough and transparent enough for the world to see, because I have nothing to hide of myself. And especially for my two babies that will see this one day in life, whether I'm still alive and old or I passed on to the great world with the God. Daddy has no lies to tell you of him, because I don't want nobody else to tell you whatever truth they think of me. I'll give it to you from my tongue to God's ears and yours. So all these things I've participated in too, and I know the Lord blesses me that I didn't have kids early, but back to what I'm saying is, my area is known for fathers being gone for 20, 30 years. And a lot of us, and even the ones that walked away, so a lot of us that come up under that, in our mind, when our chances come around, yes, some of us might be womanizers in the sense of, you know what I mean, using and abusing women. And some of us might be just cheaters and just cheating with women. Some of us might be all kind of things. But 97 or 8 or 9% of my friends take care of their kids. Their relationships, not my business. My point being, we took on a lot more, and we chose to sacrifice and go through a lot more of the nastiness and the disrespect and all the just whatever comes with it, at least myself, so I can prove to all the people that said that me and men that look like me from my area might just be, and it's easy for us to just be like what our father was of yesteryear. And Jan was telling me, and she said, I don't like to say this, but a lot of you today fathers will have to pull back some. and allow these women to truly understand what it is to have to do things on your own. No matter how much it might hurt you or the kids, this is from a woman, a legit woman, who is saying this. And as I was telling her, I've been feeling like that for a while, but I don't like to say my heart because I don't believe feelings come from the heart. Feelings come from your brain. My feelings, my emotions, and my brain tells me time and time again, you gotta fight through the struggle. You gotta keep going through it. The kids gotta be able to see some of the badness and the drama, but to know that daddy stuck around through it. It isn't to try to hide him from it. But what she said is partly true, because even with that being said, not saying the woman that we've had children with, once again, just the women in the areas we grew up, have manipulated us so much to where, even though some of us know that's the truth, it's hard to actually want to do that because we're so emotionally attached to our children. And some of us don't never want, including myself especially, I don't ever want to be placed in the category of the man of yesteryear in that realm. I dread it. It's one of my biggest fears, one of the main reasons, not just because of my love and because it's right to do, and because I didn't ever want, no matter what the world might put on me as a title, you're not going to put the title of deadbeat or left your kids and all that. So I overcompensated for things I didn't do to my children. I was in my children's life before they were born, in the womb. I did it the right way, had them in wedlock, all the above. And I still got called and accused of being a deadbeat or a here and there father and all the nasty things in which my father deserved to be called. So, with that being the same, with two different roles getting the same result, fellas, we might have to start listening to some of these legit mother of the children. Not fall back on your child and not be there or love it or support, but not as much. Do what you know you need to do, because a lot of us nowadays, we don't just buy the clothes and food and things here and there. When the mama called, whether we would or not, and say, oh, well, I need an extra $40 to do this with them. My kid's mother, my baby mother has done the same. Want to take them to the pool, it's $12 a person, but you ask them for $50. It's not much money, but who else am I paying for if I only have 2 children? And that's $24. Where will the other $26 go? Who else will I be paying for? It's them things right there. These women getting all the stamps in the world, all the food in the world, won't let the kids live with you because they want to get the benefits. These are the baby mothers, not the mother of the children that's getting the stamps and the benefits and all these things. I'm not talking about y'all ladies. And still turn around and say, well, I bought a whole bunch of food you gotta cook. I don't feel like cooking, so can you send something so I can feed the kids? It's one thing because your daughter wants it and just try to make her feel good and getting a little girly at a younger age. I can't tell you how many times I done paid for hairstyles for my 8 and my 5-year-old. If the man is there to cook, to pay, provide, do all these wonderful things, what does the woman do nowadays? If the father is now going to be cursed out and manipulated into paying to get the kid's hair done, and then still spending his cash in food, your woman's getting some assistance. Buying shoes a month or later from buying other shoes because they got some dirt or scuff marks on it, and now the mother said, oh, my kid can't walk around like this. Got to be cursed out to do half of the dishes and the cleaning work, which is nothing wrong with it, but it shouldn't be forced because she's too tired to do too much. So she ain't doing hair, she ain't paying for the food and clothes and doing things a little bit here and there. How does this scenario work? So what I tell myself, and I tell you men out there, it's not going to be easy to do. But I'm going to listen to Mama Jan Jan. You understand? I'm going to pull back some. Because the more I still do the extra, my feelings get involved. And then when she pull back and won't let me speak to the kids on the phone which I pay for, or won't answer her phone at all for days, make communication whenever all of a sudden out of nowhere won't answer for day. I can call and text a million times. Nobody won't. My kid's phone, her phone, nobody want to answer. She'll tell them not to answer. 2-3 days go by. It's something she needs for them, but she's not mother enough to make it happen. Oh, well, they need this. Oh, well, can you do this? Oh, can you grab them now? You work so hard to try to prove you don't need me until you need me. I seen this on Power, or the app, The Power with Tyreek. When somebody said, I can't remember what, how can I be the problem and the solution at the same time? Please, somebody help me understand that. If that's not an oxymoron, I don't know what one is. Another thing I want to talk about. I watch No Jumper podcast. I don't know if you people do. It's on the West Coast. Very big, entertaining. I like it. A lot of tomfoolery that goes on. A lot of hoopla. But some things got to be off limits, man. They have a girl named Tania. She has a daughter, I think, named Nova. Mother dibbled and dabbled in prostitution. Eventually, the daughter does. Horrible. Daughter's 15 years old. It's one thing that she lived part of her life and did whatever. Why would it be a good idea to interview a young lady and ain't just her soft white underbelly? Another show I watch. There go another good dad right here. I'm recording right now, man. My man, 40. This is a great dad, right? You know what I'm saying? He got a wonderful son named Butter. He's a good dude. I'm trying to be like him when I get older. You know what I'm saying? I ain't got enough camera work to let y'all see him with all the shine. G, what up? See, another one. See how the fathers just come up? I'm telling y'all. Dad Chat TV, see? I'm telling you, man. Y'all think I'm joking, man. We live Southside. We are surrounded by good fathers, man. It's not like the fathers from the 80s and 90s, man. We here. None of us doing no 30-year bids. We all raising our kids. They all wear nice clothes and stuff. Come on, man. This ain't scripted or rehearsed or none of that. You know what I'm saying? My son G just walked by. He worked at the shop up the block. My man 40 just riding through the neighborhood. You know what I'm saying? So hello to the good people. Great fathers. I wouldn't lie to y'all. You understand? G, his son ride up and down here, Lou Zion with his bike. 40, his son Butter, he doing his thing getting older. He's probably about 15 this now. Doing good in school, not in trouble. These are dudes I know personally, 20-some years. Friends of mine. It's a group of us. Anybody you walk by and say what up to me 9 out of 10 times, especially in my peer group, is a friend of mine that's gonna walk through here. Anybody that knows me, I can tell you exactly what I'm from. I'm from American Based. I ain't got nothing to hide and lie about. Originally from Foch. Lived on Rockaway, lived in Richmond Hill. I claim all the South Side. But I'm an American Based dude. You know what I'm saying? Some say the West Side of America. You know what I mean? 118, 119, 127, 116, all the way to the towers. But we're here. That's the message. They're saying we're not. They're saying all of us is this, that, and third. But we're here. I just told you what the aura of what my neighborhood was in which I grew up in, which my mother, my grandmother, and my grandfather bought a house in South Jamaica off Foch Boulevard and 142nd Street, if I'm not mistaken, in 68. My sister and myself, my sister's first 3 years of life, my first year and a half of life, we lived at my grandmother's house. I am born fresh out the hospital, born in South Jamaica, Queens. There's no way around it. Know the aura, know the people, know the stories, tenfold. But we're here. They're not gonna, one day I'm gonna get someone to come talk to them. The story we gotta deal with. It's about trying to be here. I'm not saying we should get past and be able to be foul to women. It's not about that. It's not about running over women and being able to do it. It's about the ones who are actually putting an effort to be there. Why do we gotta get the hard time? Why do I need to hear the same words that the deadbeat hears? That doesn't make any sense. Because I wouldn't put the deadbeat on the same pedestal as me. I wouldn't put him on the same level as me. So why do I gotta hear the same thing? Why do my friends gotta hear the same thing depending on if they got a baby mother or the mother of their child, because nowadays women are warped and not understanding what the reality is. But then can switch it and say somehow it's the man in the situation who's ruining it. They got all kind of stats on the internet. They don't say men are 100% walking away from their kids nowadays. It's the woman waking up saying she ain't happy because she might have to do her daughter hair and her daughter giving her trouble with it. Or we just spent our money on bills and did something with the kids and there might not be enough money to the next check. But she feels she should have money right now. Or because she wake up today and for whatever reason just upset. And you're not going to shuck and jive and dance to make her happy. So now the kid gets no longer a family. They're not going to tell you is it isn't because of drugs, it isn't because of no criminality, no long sentences. The women of today, in my peer group, born in 82 and under, we have a few older ones because they tricked themselves to be in that realm, are pulling the same shenanigans that the men of yesteryear pulled. Find ways to get away from the family, find ways to not live with the family, making excuses, making problems, accusing people or whatever. That's I'm pretty sure men used to do back in the day. Oh girl, you get on my nerve. Oh girl, you need too much. Da 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 da. You don't want to stick around.
Poppin' chat.
See? Shout out to my man G, man. Appreciate him. You see? So they're trying so much to prove that they can be equal. Yes. Let's speak about truths. Sometimes people want to be equal on a good scale. What about when people want to be equal on a cruddy scale? Nobody speaks on that. People can only tell the truth when it comes to goodness. It's just no different God. No different God. You can't just love God when you up and you good. Yeah, hell yeah, I love the Lord. But you don't praise him the same way when you're down. Or the opposite. You can't praise him when you're down and pray and beg you need him, and when you get back up, you know what I'm saying? I did this and shit. It ain't got nothing to do with God, you know what I'm saying? I asked God for help when I was down and shit. He ain't helped me, so when I got back up, it doesn't work like that. That's the Father. You have to love him through and through. If he hurts and God forbids takes something from me and a human being which I love, I'll cry to him. I'll weep to him. I might be upset for a little bit. But after those moments, I praise him. Because who am I to question his will, his way on his world? I'm not the greatest mortal at all, let alone immortal. So how the heck can I challenge that? Because when he brings life into my world, when he brought my sister a brand new baby and another addition to my family, we praise him. So it goes hand in hand. You understand? It can't be that way. The women are finding all these ways to be cruddy and blame the man and switch the camera around and say, oh, look at this man. Smack, curse, call him this, tell him S and D's and all these things. And the moment we react, oh, look, everybody. So they don't see what you've done. It looks like a raging maniac. But fellas, we got to be smart enough, and I mean myself specifically, got to be smart enough to say, you know what? Because I'm as smart as I am, and I've always been good at countering and learning from mistakes and moving different. When it came to the relationship with my kid's mother, my baby mother, and the kids and all the situation, I was dumb as hell. Because I see the play every time. And guess what? I still fall for the play. Knowing I'm going to fall for the play, knowing I'm really about to step over, like, son, you ready to see this? How are you going over this edge? And still fall over it like an idiot. Because at that point, I'm being led by my feelings and my emotions and my thoughts on, once again, no matter what goes on, I can't leave this house with these babies. But where did it get me? Where does it get me? I'm not whole for my babies at this point. I will be, but at this point, I'm not. So sometimes we gotta listen. Not just to the older men who have great wisdom that's supposed to help guide us and pull us through, just like the older women do to the young girl. There are a lot of wonderful, great women out there who've been through struggles 10 times more than what our baby mothers can even fathom. And if they can tell you, listen, If you've done this much and men are certain ways, some of y'all have to fall back. This woman has to figure out what on her own means if she hasn't already experienced it. Like my baby mother and a lot of other ones, they got to go back to some things on their own, even if it means sacrificing, even if it means not 100% time around them kids. It be what it be. And with that being said, Papa Stretch, Dad Chat TV, man, I appreciate you guys. I want to say thank all y'all for helping navigate through these waters in which is fatherhood. Shout out to my man 40. I'm going to get him interviewed soon. Don't worry. Get Lil G. I'm going to get all these people. Watch. A lot of other people. My man Braid. You know. I get my brother. I got my man Zoe. I got a lot of people, man. My man Bruno. My son Dud or Menace. I'm trying to get the whole hood, man. The whole neighborhood, man. My man Rich from Godbrook. Lanier. You know what I'm saying? He go kids like I tell you, my man City. I'm gonna keep going, man. I'm gonna get some uncles, some stepdaddies. Hashtag stepdaddies don't matter. Her words, not mine. We're gonna get some stepdaddies, some uncles. We're gonna get some mentors, some dudes that's just good with the kids, some coaches. My man Bones. Like we're gonna get all them things, man. All right. So just stay in tune with me, man. Papa Stretch, Dad Chat TV. I love you guys. Hashtag New York for president, man.